Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so incredibly excited to be your guide as we unpack a truly fascinating piece of educational design. Today, we're taking a deep dive into Little Learner TV, The Big Sound Adventure. If you have even a passing interest in early childhood education, linguistics, or honestly just the brilliant ways we can trick the human brain into learning really difficult skills through pure fun, well, you are absolutely in the right place. This 20-chapter curriculum has one major mission, and that's teaching children how to read using highly interactive animated play. So let's jump right into the magic of how this actually works.
Chug chug, all aboard the sound train, right? That is exactly how Chapter 1 hooks its young audience, dropping them instantly into this totally whimsical, colorful world. Right from the very first frame, the curriculum establishes this super friendly, inviting tone. The kids, they aren't sitting in a boring classroom, they're passengers on a vibrant cartoon train where every single car has a giant smiling letter on it. It's an immediate, brilliant strategy to just totally lower the barrier to entry for early learning.
Okay, let's dive into this. The entire foundation of this 20-chapter journey basically revolves around one specific objective: blending sounds together. Or, to put it in kid-friendly terms, it's the act of squishing individual letter sounds to read simple three-letter CVC, that's Consonant-Vowel-Consonant, words. You know, this is a monumental cognitive leap for a toddler. It is literally the moment they realize that isolated sounds actually combine to create real meaning.
But to get there, of course, the program starts with the basics. In Chapter 1, we get this foundational echo game, because before kids can blend, they have to identify. The host stops the train at letter station A and asks the kids to repeat isolated letter sounds loud as a rocket. Step 1, the host says and the kids echo. Step 2, A. Step 3, T. It's a very simple call and response, sure, but it successfully isolates the phonemes, totally preparing the child's ear for what comes next.
All right, Part 1. The mechanics of blending. Squishing slow sounds into fast words. So how exactly does this curriculum teach a child to take those separate sounds and actually turn them into a fluid word? It starts with this wonderfully engaging instruction from the host. Can we squish their sounds to make a word? Let's try. I absolutely love the word squish here. It takes a really abstract linguistic concept, phonemic blending, and turns it into a tangible physical action that a toddler can easily visualize. Actually, scratch that. They aren't even reading yet in their own minds. They're just playing a game where they squish things together. And here is exactly how that squishing happens in practice. In Chapter 2, the program introduces the magic magnet car. First, we have the slow-mo phase, M, A, T. Then, as the magnetic train cars physically click together, it immediately shifts to fast-mo, MAT. The visual of the magnets locking perfectly supports the auditory blending of the word, letting the visual pacing match the auditory pacing exactly. Then, as we move into Chapter 4, the curriculum asks, what's cooking in the kitchen? Playful little prompts like this are used constantly to spark engagement. The setting shifts from a train to a bright, friendly kitchen. The context changes, but the core mechanics of blending remain exactly the same. They're just dressed up in a brand new, exciting minigame to hold a young learner's notoriously short attention span. In this kitchen, we find the sizzling pan game. The letters P, A, and N pop out of the frying pan like popcorn. The host asks the kids to slide the sounds together, P, A, N, and then make a sizzling noise like bacon before shouting pan. Honestly, it's incredibly clever. By mimicking those bacon sounds, the children are extending the airflow from the letter sounds right into the completed word, seamlessly reinforcing the whole concept without even realizing it. Let's move to Part 2, multi-sensory engagement, locking in learning through movement and rhythm.
Now, let's see how this builds, because the creators of this curriculum clearly understand that young children do not learn by just sitting still and staring at a screen. They need to move. There's this rich variety of physical mini-games deployed throughout the chapters. We've got the jump game, where kids literally bounce along with the word mat. In Muddy Puddle Fun, they're stopping their feet for the ps sound, splashing their hands for I, and jumping high for G to spell pig. Or in the Sunshine Stretch, they reach their arms up high like warm sun rays to stretch out the sounds of S-U-N. By tying gross motor skills directly to phonics, the child's entire body becomes an active part of the reading process.
And, you know, it's not just those big movements. Rhythm plays a huge role here, too. In Chapter 5, that pan from the kitchen scene starts bouncing to a groovy beat. The children are instructed to pat their knees to the beat, tap, tap, tap for the individual sounds of P-A-N, culminating in a giant unifying clap for the word pan.
It turns reading into this super fun musical experience.
The curriculum takes this rhythmic mapping even further in Chapter 18 with the drum beat blend. Beat 1 maps the letter D to a deep drum boom. Beat 2 maps the letter I to a snare tap. Beat 3 maps the letter G to a huge cymbal crash. Putting it all together unlocks the brand new word dig. I mean, they are literally drumming out the phonemes.
Now, something absolutely crucial here is how the program uses volume dynamics to maintain engagement. Toddlers are naturally loud, for sure, but they also really love secrets. The Whisper Challenge asks them to use soft sounds so they don't wake a sleeping cartoon cat, gently blending CAT. Contrast that with the earlier Echo game where they shout as loud as a rocket. Alternating between whispering and shouting forces the child to pay active attention to how they're using their voice. It totally prevents the repetition of sounds from ever feeling monotonous.
Moving on to Part 3, Speed and Assessment, taking off the training wheels.
So, as we approach the final quarter of the 20 chapters, that slow, methodical squishing gets put to the test in real time. This escalation is beautifully disguised as a game in Chapter 13's Bug Leaf Maze. The child acts as a guide for a tiny green bug. In order to clear the path, they have to blend sounds at every twist and turn. Turn 1 is B, turn 2 is U, turn 3 is G. Unlocking the finish line, B-U-G. It's an assessment, yes, but to the kid, their newly acquired reading skills are just a superpower unlocking the next stage of a video game.
Then the pacing kicks into high gear with Chapter 15's Sunshine Van. We're on a road trip and speed limit signs with different letters are just flying by. The host brings this fast, sports commentator energy. The van is speeding up. Can you read the word before we pass the finish line? The countdown starts. 3, 2, 1, van. It directly challenges the child's rapid recall and builds reading fluency under a really playful, high-speed time crunch.
All of this eventually culminates in Chapter 19. Let me just read you the exact quote from the host here. "Welcome to the ultimate sound mixer. This machine takes separate letter sounds and squishes them together into magic words." The child is presented with this wacky cartoon machine full of colorful buttons, spinning gears, and fun little gauges. It's time for the final exam.
The host pulls a lever, and the machine starts a rapid-fire test of the words they've learned so far. The machine spins C-A-T, and the child must instantly answer cat. It spins P-I-G. The child shouts pig. So the crucial point to take away here is that by this stage, the child isn't just relying on slow-motion blending anymore. They are demonstrating genuine sight word recognition and rapid phonemic mastery. When the child succeeds, the machine flashes green, officially crowning them a master blender.
Which brings us to Part 4, the Superstar Celebration, the absolute payoff of the 20-chapter journey. After 19 chapters of some pretty intense, albeit incredibly fun, cognitive heavy lifting, the creators know exactly how to reward the child's massive effort. Chapter 20 is a total visual feast. The screen fills up with falling confetti, balloons floating up to the ceiling, and all the friendly cartoon characters we've met along the journey cheering together. A glowing victory banner hangs from the top reading Sound Superstar. The host offers deep, genuine praise, validating the fact that the child just read real words all by themselves. And of course, true to its multi-sensory roots, the program ends on a highly kinesthetic note with the final victory dance. Step 1, they shake their shoulders. Step 2, they spin around. And Step 3, they give themselves a giant hug. It permanently associates the act of learning to read with physical joy, accomplishment, and immense self-worth.
So as we wrap up this explainer today, I really want to leave you with this question to chew on. How can turning letters into a multi-sensory adventure unlock the magic of reading for the child in your life? Whether it's hopping on the sound train, making bacon noises for the letter P, or banging a drum for a D, the Big Sound Adventure proves beyond a doubt that reading doesn't have to be a static chore. It could be a dynamic, joyful, full-body experience. Keep exploring, keep playing, and I really hope this sparks some amazing ideas for you today.